Judy Lawrence. Yes. She thanks you for the flowers, incidentally. And I thank you for putting my name on the card with them. Thank you.
Well, I hope I wasn't being too presumptuous.
No, not at all. You let me know how much it is. I'll reimburse you.
No. This one's on me. You can get the set of twins.
Can I buy you a cup of coffee before you go home?
Larry, it's so late, and Anna and Dad asked if I'd stop by tonight. It's their bridge night, and they wanted me to have coffee dessert with them. Take a rate check?
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons I did call by was to pick up some papers which I want to process at the hospital. Maybe you could drop them off to Jenny. Right.
Well, I'd be glad to. Larry, have you found a replacement for me?
Replacement?
Yes, I spoke to you about it last week.
Yeah, I know. I remember that, but I thought you were still thinking about staying on. What made you decide to leave?
Well, there are a number of reasons. I don't see any point in going into them.
Well, we need you around here, Kat.
Well, nobody is indispensable.
I don't mean just the work.
Larry, look, I really mean it. I would appreciate it if you would try and find someone else. Would you mind locking up? I'm running a little late.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night, Kat.
Next on General Hospital.
I'd like to finish that conversation sometime.
We'll make a point of it.
While Susan shows an interest in Jeff, Mrs. Grant is more interested in the truth. General Hospital next. After One Life to Live.
You sure catch on fast, girl. Crazy Richard, I wonder what he's up to. Forgot his keys.
Hey, hi, Miss Hopkins.
Hello.
I got a letter from my mother. I gotta read it to you.
Oh, well, I will go check on the brownies in the oven.
Come on. There's a lot of stuff in the beginning about my trust fund. And why am I working for the newspaper? She's never understood that, Becky. She never will. But here's the good point. I'm delighted to hear about your wedding plans, and I'm so happy for you both, Dickie Bird.
Dickie Bird?
Dickie Bird, that's what she calls me, Dickie Bird. I thought I told you that.
No, I won't forget it.
I wish you would. Anyway, where was I?
You were at the part where she said she's so happy for both of us.
Oh, yeah, here. Rebecca sounds like a delightful girl. I can't wait to meet her. And of course, you're not going to marry anyone without my being there. Please call or cable me the minute you set the date. Love and lots of kisses. Now she's got her schedule down here. Now, let me see. This is, the 13th? She's in Switzerland. She's skiing all week. Anyway, name the date, huh? I'll call her.
Richard, don't put it on me.
You know something, Becky? I've heard of women not being able to make decisions, but this is ridiculous. All right. April 1st. That's April Fool's Day. April 2nd.
When?
Look, Becky, you will make the decision, set the date, so I will, okay? So you get started on your wedding dress, and I'll call my mother first thing. Oh, wait a second, I can't call her this. There's a time difference. It's 3 o'clock in the morning in Switzerland. I'll cable her.
Richard?
Oh, and another thing, look. Look what Edwina Lewis gave me.
How'd she get that developed so fast?
I don't know.
She just took that this morning.
Oh, maybe she used the Banner darkroom. You know, that's possible. Oh, that's nice, huh? Well, Anyway, I want to have a big story in the paper about you, Becky. You know, when we get married on the society page, and I want a picture of you in your wedding gown there. I want the works. Well, anyway, I'll see you, babe.
Bye. Hey, what are you doing? Aren't you going to sample my brownie?
Oh, Miss Hopkins, you save one of those for me, okay? Bye-bye. So, I figure if I can get the 3 outside tennis courts finished by, well, say by the end of, the 15th of April, which I can do if we get any kind of a break at all in the weather, I can make up the difference for, you know, for the money I lose from indoor courts not being in use in the summer, right? Sounds like a good idea.
Oh, and Sam, Brad is going to try to develop that idea of yours, you know, to give cut-rate memberships to the students and the off-hours and the weekdays. You mean you finally let me make a contribution to all this? Yeah. Well, on that point, I think I'll make a grandiose exit, okay?
So soon?
Well, come on, it's after 10 o'clock, Dad.
But you said you didn't have a date tonight.
Right, I don't have a date. You know, I'm meeting some people at Tony's place about 10:30.
Okay, can I give you a lift?
No, I need to walk.
Oh, look, I've got an early day tomorrow anyway. Might as well go. Jenny, it was a terrific evening. You really are some kind of a cook.
Oh, well, thank you very much. That was so good. Thank you. Thank you. Come again.
Oh, Dad, I put your coat in the bedroom. Oh, I'll get it.
No, mine too. Mine's stuck there. Well, let me say that next time you're going to have to come to our house. Because contrary to popular belief, I promise I will not poison you. My cooking has actually improved. It has. Don't you do that to me. Oh, come in. The door's open. Hi, Kathy. Come on in. Excuse me, Jackie. I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, don't be silly. How are you? Fine. Samantha. Bad. Excuse me. Larry wanted me to give you these. He said that you'd know what they were. Something about forms for patients that are being switched from the clinic to the hospital, and he asked you to fill them out. Oh, right. Okay, I'll take care of that right away.
Kathy? Thought I heard your voice. How are you?
Fine, Will. How are you?
I really don't think so, Pat.
But it really isn't that long, you know, and it was when he was happy. I mean, it really did me good to remember the times when he was happy, as opposed to the end when he wasn't.
All right. Go ahead and read it.
Okay. It's not easy because his handwriting is a little shaky. I guess he was excited or something. Anyway, it says, my dad is back. My dad is back. I knew it. I always knew it. Mom, everyone else in the world thought he was dead, but I knew he wasn't. Mom always felt bad for me because she thought I wasn't accepting the truth. But I knew the truth. I know he's back, alive, and I was right all along. And she and everyone else was wrong. When I saw him, I have to admit that there was a part of me that was angry with him. How could he have stayed away for so long? But that was just quick. Mostly I've never been happier in my whole life. Mostly I just love him so much. It's hard to sit still here and write this. But I have to write it down because it's the most important day of my life. More important than my birthday even.
Is that all?
No, there's more.
I feel bad for Mom, though. She's really shook up. She didn't believe me when I told her Dad was really alive somewhere, so she went ahead and fell in love with another man. They were going to get married. Even though she's confused now, I know in a little while she's going to forget all about Tony since Dad's back. Soon we're going to be a family again. Just as happy as we used to be. Brian wanted too much, didn't he, Pat? He was too young to know that in this life you can't have it all. That's what he wanted. I gotta get out of here. I got to get some air. don't you?
I doubt it. But if they are, I can certainly understand it.
So you approve?
Oh, Tony, it's not up to me to approve or disapprove. I'm not their judge, and neither are you. Because you turned your back on Pat and the whole relationship.
All right. But if you think that I brought this on myself, you're only half right. Because if Pat hadn't insisted on handling it the way she wanted to, right from the beginning, I mean, from the time that Kendall came back, Pat and I'd be married now, and maybe Brian would still...
You don't love Pat anymore. Is that it?
No, Viki, the love is still there. It's just that it's beaten up a lot. I just don't have the energy anymore to compete with Kendall. So I guess he's won.
Oh, Tony, I don't think anyone has won anything in this situation because you've all lost so much.
Yeah. We all lost a son, didn't we? Now I've lost Pat. So maybe it's time to just pick myself up and get on with the rest of my life. I won't keep any longer. Viki, I do want to apologize for the way I acted when I was over here the other night with Kendall and Pat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for a lot of things, but... Thanks for listening to me.
Anytime.
You know, now that you know that Brian was my son, you're the only one that I can talk to.
Kathy, I can't imagine the clinic running without you. But I'm not indispensable. Oh, Dad, are we going to go into town?
Well, you have a few minutes. Why?
Well, I'd like for you to drop me off at Tully's place.
You mean you're really going back there again?
Yeah, just for a little while,
Well, yeah, look at it this way, Dad. You know where she is. You can always find her at Tony's place, right?
Right, of course. Well, I really should be going. When I arrived over next door, Anna was just taking out dessert. Oh, sure. Okay, well, thanks for bringing this over.
Oh, okay, Sam. You go get your coat, and I'll warm up the car.
Okay.
Kathy, take it easy.
I'm trying to. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Oh, good night.
Good night. Jay, it really was a great dinner.
Oh, well, you're welcome anytime you come.
Brad, thanks. Hey, listen, thank you, and Jenny says you're welcome anytime, okay? Well, Sam, do you want me to drop you off or not?
Oh, right. That's right. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Oh,
I got it.
Well, I got my just a second, Dad. Oh.
You have got a dizzy sister from them now. Okay, good night, Dad.
Well, that was kind of fun. I mean, having people over for dinner like that, it made us feel kind of, settled down, married.
Kind of like adults, right?
Yeah, like that. Hey, I hope I didn't break it.
No.
Well, I guess I should say goodbye, and thanks again, Jenny.
Okay, I will walk you to the door, just like a proper gentleman.
Oh, like a proper gentleman.
Good night, Sam.
Good night.
Thank you.
No, sure, maybe this time, right? Good night, you two. What was that all about? What were you and Sam saying? You notice how mature Samantha's looking lately? The way she's dressing and her hair?
I haven't seen her in quite a while.
Oh, I think she looks at least 25. I wonder why. Well, she's in a hurry to grow up, of course. I think that's too bad. I mean, that we can't appreciate our youth while we're young. How does Will look? He's fine. Quite relaxed. I think he's getting younger while Samantha's getting older.
Is Brad there?
Yes.
I take it nothing has happened to make you change your feelings about Brad.
No, not much. I don't know, I look at this ring, Dad, and I start thinking about Lana and the anger I have for him that just surges up in me. And it's a beautiful thing. It belongs to a beautiful person.
Honey, you must not let the past weigh you down the way it does.
Married? I really wonder sometimes if Lana had lived. that. I know you think I'm wrong. You think that I'm still overreacting. But I tell you, I really feel like Jenny is headed for some kind of disaster with Brad. I mean, maybe it's not going to happen right away, but I can feel it. Believe me, I hate saying it, but it's going to happen.
What are you talking about?
Oh, well, you just said thank you to Sam, and she said something about getting through with it this time.
Oh.
Well, what were you talking about?
Well, you don't miss a trick at all, do you? Okay, come on. Might as well tell you.
What?
Well, see, Dan and I have a lot better relationship than we did. But I still get very tense around him, right? So, that's sort of, Sam and I have this deal where he keeps an eye on me and, makes sure that I don't get out of line. That's all.
The evening seemed to go very well. Seemed very relaxed.
That's right. That's the point. That's exactly what Sam and I were referring to. I mean, that's why I was thanking her. See? And eventually, I hope that I'll be able to relax entirely around Dan. Right. And then Sam will be able to relax, too. I think that day is coming. I don't think it's far off. I mean, tonight, I liked having him here. I really enjoyed him tonight.
Brad, you don't know how much I love to hear you say that.
It's nice to be able to say it. It's nice to feel it.
Hey, I've got a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just snuggle up here by the fire and have some brandy and listen to some romantic music?
Something with a lot of strings, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's fine if you want to do it alone, but I have to leave, I'm afraid.
Leave? Why? It's after 11 o'clock. Where do you have to go?
No, I have to go over to the health club. I've got a new security guard coming on, and I just want to make sure that he's there on time, you know, and I don't trust him entirely.
You can't trust a security guard. Who can you trust?
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's my point. That's why I have to go over to the club. Okay?
Baby, now you'll believe me when I tell you that Melinda is not capable of taking care of herself.
No, Dorian, I don't think that's the case at all. I think she's going to see through Marco. I mean, he can't hide the fact that Dr. Dane is a phony.
I know, but remember what I told you about Melinda? The way she develops crushes on men if they just so much as smile at her. And that worries me a great deal. Especially since I know how upset Melinda was when Marco pulled that little stunt when he had me come to Tony's place where he knew that Melinda and I were sisters. She really laid him out for that.
Well, if that's so, then what the hell was she doing there with him tonight?
I don't know. Maybe Melinda doesn't have a real sense of herself as a woman, as far as men are concerned. I don't know. She said 3 years of treatment. That might have helped some things, but certainly not all things.
No, look, I don't think the incident tonight means a thing. I think that if Lynn didn't know who Marco was when the evening started, she'll certainly know by the end of the evening, and she is not going to get involved with Marco or anyone like him.
Well, I wish I could share your confidence, but I don't know. Maybe she gets away with everything because she has that innocent quality, so that no one can see how really disturbed she is.
Now, Dorian, that comment disturbs me, so please stop.
Of course. You know, Peter, maybe we've talked enough about Melinda tonight. What about us? Why don't we talk about us?
Excuse me. Well, what bothered you the most? Running into Dorian or the fact that Dorian wasn't here? Oh, I know. She's a tricky one, isn't she?
Are you referring to Dorian?
Well, what else? I know her pretty well. You know, I used to work for her.
What capacity?
Well, that's kind of hard to define. I guess you could say I was the overall coordinator running the empire. Anyhow, I had a chance to watch her wheel and deal.
I'm sure it was very fascinating.
Oh, it is. Of course, to really appreciate it, you've got to have a taste for ruthlessness and cunning. Frankly, I couldn't stomach it. That's why I quit.
Oh. And that's why you brought Dorian to Tony's place, right? So that you could shock the two of us.
There you go again. So what if I did? That I could use a shock now and then. Reminder that she's really Dorian Kramer, who clawed her way to the top.
Marco, I don't want to talk about Dorian anymore.
Right. I'm sorry. I'd rather talk about you anyhow. How could two sisters be so different?
Marco, I said I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Okay.
Actually, what I want to do is just go to bed.
I can't believe you really are the same after all.
Oh, what's the bad thing?
Well, she was always trying to get me those places too.
Marco, you are incredible. You know that is not what I meant.
Come on now, I'm not serious. I just meant we were best together. I mean,
Marco, let's forget about that. I really have a lot of nerve talking about my sister like that. I happen to love her. Yes, I do. I mean, I know that Dorian is false as well as you know it. But she can also be very kind. And just because she's done some things that maybe she shouldn't have done absolutely, but she hasn't.
I get very bad at being a liar.
Yes, you did. And I do say a lot of rotten things. Well, I'm going. Thanks for dinner. And I'll thank you not to talk about Dorian again.
Come on, Dorian, let's sit down. I'd like to talk to you some more about Lynn and you. Because, I'm a little worried about you.
Why? I realize that Lynn wants to have her own life, and I'm not responsible for it. I'm over that.
Well, to some degree that may be true, but I am bothered tonight by how much the two of you seem to affect each other. I mean, sitting in that inn tonight, I could feel the tension radiating between the two of you right across the room.
Come on, I wasn't aware of that.
Well, I was. And it seems to me that both of you need total approval, each from the other. I thought that Lynn needed your approval. And now it's obvious that you need hers as well.
What is this, like, alter egos?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is to some degree, and it's dangerous. It is dangerous for both of you. Because how can either one of you hope to lead any kind of normal life when you're so concerned about what the other one is always thinking?
You know, Peter, maybe you're right. Maybe I've just never thought about it like that. Maybe it's very important to me to have Melinda's approval about what I do.
Well, it is important, and I wish you'd think about it.
Absolutely amazing to me. You're the only man who can get me to see things in a completely different way. You can even get me to change my ways. Amazing.
I just want to be of some help, that's all.
Believe me, you are. You really are. Who knows, Peter, one day I might actually be happy.
Well, look, I have a very early day tomorrow.
Oh, please, you don't have to leave yet, do you?
I'm afraid that I do, actually.
Well, thank you again for dinner.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Come, I'll get my coat. Oh, hold that there.
Want me to make you some hot chocolate or something?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll, take a hot bath. You still, looking at that?
Just the beginning. It's the ending that gets unbearable.
Pat, you really should go to bed.
All right. Good night.
Good night. There's got to be some way to get her out of this. Some way to help her.
Oh, hey, what are you doing here?
I told Jenny that I had to stop by the health club. Now listen to me, Sam. We have got to do something to get that ring away from Cathy. The simple law of averages dictates that Dad is going to notice it sooner or later.
But I don't know what we're going to do.
I don't either. That's what's driving me bananas. We have to do something. If Dad gets one glimpse of that ring, he's going to know it was Mom's, and he's going to know that I was at Mom's apartment the night that she died.
Remember me? The one who told you you should have told the truth from the beginning?
Thanks, Sam. I mean, you're a real big help, you know?
Well, it would have been a help if you would have listened.
All right.
like before when you tried to steal the ring from Cathy's house, okay?
All right, I botched that one. I know it.
What would have happened if she'd seen you, Red?
Look, Sam, I know that. I know all that. Now, will you tell me something I don't know? Like how to get the ring away from her?
I don't know. Okay, look, you just have to think of something that's very cool and clever.
Cool and clever, huh? I'm running out of cool and clevers. One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Until I got here.
Paul, you said it was important.
Is it Pat or is it business? Well, it's both, actually. You know, to tell you the truth, I was awake half the night trying to figure out what to do about Pat. And the only thing I could think of was we just got to get her back to work. I couldn't agree with you more.
For her sake, it's the sake of the matter.
I know. I hate to say this, but the woman's page just hasn't been the same.
Oh, some of the natives are getting a little restless. They're trying to take over. I would say, just one native.
Who?
Your rather ambitious assistant.
Edwina? Of course. Why should that surprise me, right?
Probably because you expect a certain amount of loyalty from a fellow worker.
Yeah. Well, she wants my wife's job, which also leaves me high and dry. Of course, Edwina's never made any bones about wanting to rule the world, so...
Yes, but that makes it all the more important that we get Pat back to work.
Yeah, I know, but I can't do it by myself. I mean, she listens to me, and she says she's going to think about it, but then she doesn't think about it. She just thinks about Brian. Last night, she got his diary out. Oh, my God.
Do you think this self-torture is getting a little out of hand?
Well, exactly. And that's why we've got to get her back to the Banner. And why I think you two are the ones to do it.
Well, we've already tried, but we'd be happy to try again.
I know. I appreciate that. Well, I guess I better get going. Lena's taking a couple days off, so... Again, I appreciate any help you can give me. Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, now, how are we going to handle this? Come in. Why don't you sit down, Mrs. Lord? Although I'm really not quite sure if Lena's awake yet. Could you please tell her that I'm here? I have an appointment with Jim Craig soon, so I have only about half an hour.
Right. Well, I'll go right up and alert her. I'll tell her you're here.
Well, good morning, Your Majesty.
Well, look who's here. The court jester.
You here to see me?
Oh, no, this just happens to be an unfortunate accident.
Oh, I thought perhaps you came to offer my job back.
It just shows how incredibly wrong you are.
Oh, well, on to bigger and better things. You know, Melinda and I had a good time last night.
Really? That's really kind of funny, because if I remember correctly, I don't think she smiled at all while she was with you.
Well, she was smiling. On the inside, where it counts. Boy, I really like her a lot. As sisters, I do see some similarities, except that she's younger and softer.
Really, I'm not interested in your opinion about my sister. Although I must say, I'd be fascinated to hear what she has to say about you. Hello, Dorian. Good morning, Melinda. All right, Marco, don't you have something you could do?
Yes, I think I'll go to the kitchen, make some coffee, so you two ladies can discuss me in private. Oh, Melinda, now don't you listen to a word she has to say about me.
That's exactly what I was going to say to you about him. Oh, well, if that's why you came, don't worry. I don't believe him. Good. Because from what I hear, he has this habit of saying some outrageous things about me. And that's exactly why I fired him. You mean he didn't quit? Are you kidding? You know, I have a feeling that Marco would play anyone against anyone just for the fun of it. You know, I think that's a very accurate analysis. Anyway, you mean I don't have to worry about you getting involved with Marco? No. The only reason that I went out with him last night was because, well, Peter called me up and asked me out, and, well, Marco was just a handy excuse. I had absolutely no idea that we'd all end up in the same restaurant. Yes, I
you up and asked you out. Well, I think that's good that he knows there's at least one woman who won't fall at his feet. Did you, have a nice time? Yes, I did. Peter was especially tender and sweet last night. Especially tender later on at night, in bed.
Thank you, Pat, with that, all those things. Breakfast and coffee.
That's because I'm such a wonderful wife.
You bet you are. Well, how are you?
Oh, gee, I don't know. I kind of fluctuate between sad and numb. I think I'm a little numb. Well, what are you doing here? You should be at work.
Work? Funny you should mention that.
Oh, that's why you're here. Come on, Pat, sit down. Joe wants to talk to you. Listen, before you get into all of this, I think I'd better tell you I am not ready yet.
I'm going to forget you said that. At least until after you've heard what I have to say.
Okay.
Pat, it's been almost 2 months now.
Has it? Yes, it has, Pat. Well, it's really strange, huh? I don't even know what day it is, much less with month.
Well, you're missed, Pat. You're missed a lot. The woman's page has become, I say, very dull. Your magic touch and your column are sorely missed.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Well, so am I, because, it's beginning to affect the banner. Pat, your job is very important, and, well, the void your absence has created, it's just going to have to be filled soon.
Oh. I see. In other words, what you're saying is, if I don't come back to work soon, then you're going to have to find someone to replace me.
As much as I hate to say it, yes.
Well, you'll have my letter of resignation in the morning. What?
Well, Pat...
well, I gather that wasn't the answer you were expecting, but I told you right from the beginning I wasn't ready yet.
Well, then, Pat, when do you think you will be ready?
I don't know. I really don't. That's the truth. Pat, now, come on, damn it. It is not the truth. Viki, listen, if you think that I'm just going to quietly sit by and watch you sever your only lifeline to the outside world, then you have another thing coming. That job is important to you, just as important as you are to it. No, I couldn't function at it. Of course you can. Look, I'm not saying it would be easy at first. For days you might do nothing but sit there and stare into space. But at least you would be getting back into it, which is an awful lot more than you're doing sitting here.
Becky's right, Pat. You have to take a step at a time, right? But you have to make that first step.
Look, I love the banner too much. I love the both of you too much to just go in there and do a lousy job. I want to give you my best, and right now I just, I don't have my best to give it. Yes, you do, Pat, you do. It's still there. Look, you can give the banner your best, and I personally will see to it that you do. I'm going to come to work with you every single day, and I will sit on your desk if necessary, and help you.
So there's no point in writing that letter of resignation, is there? Not only are we not going to accept it, we wouldn't even read it.
And that as they say, my dear. Is that? What would I do without the two of you?
Morning, Sam.
Oh, hi, you startled me.
Oh? Those books are that interesting, huh?
Well, looks like you had a pretty good night last night.
Yeah. Where's one?
Oh, she called in sick again. She thinks she has the flu.
Oh, great. That's all I need.
Well, I feel fine. I mean, if you hadn't noticed by looking at me.
A little cold to me. Maybe you don't have too many clothes on.
I feel perfectly comfortable. So, where'd you go last night? I mean, I dropped by here and you weren't anywhere around.
That's right.
Well, I mean, did you have a date?
Sam, I really don't remember where I was.
Oh. Well, I know that you weren't out with Lola because Lola was here.
Oh?
Yeah. Yeah, she was with some kind of attractive guy. I'd never seen him before. She doesn't have too good a reputation, Tony.
Now, what do you mean by not too good a reputation?
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I know. Like you flirting with those guys around here who don't have too good a reputation. Sam, I don't know what you see in those people, but I sure as hell know what they see in you. And it isn't your put-on maturity, it's your youth. For some reason, they must feel younger when they're around you.
So what?
So they're jerks. They're acting just like fools.
Oh, I see. Whenever an older man likes a younger girl, that makes him a fool.
You got it.
Tony, you make me so mad. You're so narrow-minded. Sometimes I feel like I could just scream.
Look, don't scream, Sam. Now just find somebody your own age. Someone who will love you the way you deserve to be loved.
Well, maybe I will. And maybe you'll be sorry you ever suggested it.
Next on General Hospital. What do we have to do to prove to you that I care about you, that I want to take care of you?
I don't deserve your caring for me, Jim.
Jeff demands to know the truth about his son. Maybe you better tell me what's really behind all of this. I've got on so fast.
Just please.
I think I know what's behind it. It's all because of Stephen Lars. General Hospital. Watch today, right after One Life to Live.
It's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Look, it's just something that happens sometimes. It's all right.
It is not all right. The last time I had too much to drink. This time I...
Well, maybe something's bothering you. Maybe we should talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it. I have to take a shower.
I hope Jim hasn't finished his speech yet. No, he's just starting. That's why I'm staying home today, so he can finish it.
Thank you.
Hello, Jim.
Morning, Dorian. I hope it wasn't too inconvenient for you to meet me here instead of the hospital.
No, not at all. And besides, Anna makes much better coffee.
I'll vouch for that. So what was it you wanted to see me about?
Well, it's about your speech for the hospital board. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I'm convinced that we have the best hospital in this state.
I agree, of course.
The only trouble is we're the only ones that know it. So to convince others of it, we've got to find a way to attract some top-notch doctors to our staff and the reputations that go with them.
I take it you're referring specifically to Jack Scott. Well, I must agree, he's excellent and would be a valuable asset on the staff.
Then we're in complete agreement.
Well, yes, except that I don't think you'll find it easy getting him to come to Landview.
No, I know it'll be very difficult, but I do have a plan. Besides offering him a salary that he just can't refuse, I was thinking that maybe the Lord Foundation could endow a chair in his name. From the university.
A chair in his name? Well, he might very well be interested in that.
Certainly he would. With his ego, I mean, he'd only have to teach one class, and that would be composed of the best hand-picked candidates. Well, it certainly sounds attractive.
Of course. Go ahead, Dorian. Nothing to lose.
mention that in your speech?
Yes. I'll make a point of it.
I don't understand. Why, you with Marco, and Dorian was with Peter.
Oh, because Dorian likes Peter very much, and he likes her.
But I thought you were seeing him.
Not anymore.
Why not?
Because I don't want to.
I don't understand this. Everything was going so well between you two that... Excuse me. Hello? Oh, hello, Peter. Peter, I'm sorry, but Lynn has left today.
Hi, honey. Coffee will be ready in a minute.
Thanks for getting my glove.
Brad, I know why you're running off like this, and it really is no good.
All right, well, if you know why I'm running off, then why don't you just let me run, okay? I don't want to talk about it.
Look, we just cannot avoid this. It's important. We have to deal with this.
But Jenny, just leave me alone, all right, will you?
No, I won't. It is upsetting you. And that is upsetting me. It's something else if it didn't bother you, but it's killing you, Brad.
It's not killing me, and it won't happen again.
I think it will.
Why the hell do you say that?
Well, because it occurred to me that we never had this problem before. I said that I wanted to get pregnant.
Hey, I grew up in a house with a psychiatrist, you know that? And I am sick and tired of everybody analyzing me all the time. I'm going to the health club, all right?
That's it, Brad, isn't it? You don't want to get me pregnant, do you?
Next on One Life to Live.
You do have to be patient. I just don't think that I have enough patience for both of us.
Jenny can't save her marriage, and Karen's continues to be threatened. When can I see you again?
I told you. That is a part of my life that is over.
What's the matter?
My husband's over there.
One Life to Live. Watch today, right after All My Children.
Hey, just the person I was looking for.
Hi, Vicky Bird. I was just leaving your mail off here. Oh, you got a real important memo from Mr. Riley.
Yeah, well, never mind that right now. Here, I got something for you, just for you.
Feels real heavy. What is it?
It's something that you better get busy on right away if you're going to have it ready by April 2nd.
What?
Open it up. The material for your wedding dress, Vic. Look, if you don't like that particular kind, you can exchange it.
Yes, Peter, I understand. I'll give her your messages, and I've got your number. Huh? Yeah, you too. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Lynn, you can come out now. You really didn't have to leave the room, you know. I can lie just as easily with you standing here.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Hopkins. I didn't mean to cause you any problems.
Lynn, dear, the only problem is... Are you sure? Because if not, here's the number where Peter can be reached.
I don't need it.
All right. I know something has happened between you and Peter. I know it's none of my business. But I've got the impression that even he doesn't know what it's about. Don't you think you owe him some kind of explanation?
That's it, Brad, isn't it? You don't want a child. Why don't you just come out and say it if that's the way you feel?
No!
No, what? You don't want a child? That's
No, I don't know what the problem is. All I know is that your constant questioning and carping isn't doing me a bit of good. You're so clinical about it. You seem to think if we go in there every hour on the hour, you're bound to get pregnant.
I never thought about
Yeah,
it
well,
like
that's
that.
the way it comes across to me.
Well, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. Just try being a little bit more supportive instead of so critical all the time. and it says you want a baby, not that you love me.
All right, I got the message. I am never to take the initiative. I'm supposed to lie there like a good wife and let you come to me whenever you feel like it. Well, then you have to go to work. Go. Just go.
Don't, please. Jenny, please, look, I'm sorry. The only reason I get upset, Jenny, is because I love you so much. I failed you, and you're the one person in all the world I don't want to fail. But, darling, it can't last forever. You said yourself it was just temporary.
There has to be a reason, Brad.
And you think the reason is because I'm afraid to have children?
No, not afraid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was what you just said.
All right, look, what I said was that maybe psychologically, subconsciously, you don't want a child.
All right, well, that's what I said. You're accusing me of being afraid.
I'm not afraid, Brad. There's a difference.
Well, I'm sorry, but that distinction happens to elude me. I mean, anyway, because as a result of this deep-seated, mysterious, psychological aversion that I have to having kids, I've suddenly become impotent. I mean, we might as well use that word. That's what we're talking about. And the result is that you can't get pregnant, you can't have your precious child.
I'm not blaming you. I thought it was my fault. I thought I was being too passive or too conventional, too modest. That's why I tried to make the initiative like that.
You're doing it again. You're being clinical about it. You're plotting everything out. You're planning in advance. It's supposed to be a joyful, spontaneous act. Joyful, right?
It always has been for me, Brad.
Yeah, until the other night.
Look, we both agreed that that is just a temporary situation.
Yeah, well, the question is how temporary. I mean, every day that goes by, I get more and more of a sense of failure. I get more scared. I get more uptight.
Brad, did you ever think that maybe you ought to talk to someone?
Like who?
Well, maybe you and I ought to talk to someone together.
Oh, you mean like therapy?
Yeah, or counseling or whatever.
Look, Jenny, let me tell you something. I grew up in a house with a psychiatrist. I know what a lot of garbage that is. You get some kind of egomaniac who wants to talk about his problems all day long, so he's got to pay somebody to listen so they won't fall asleep. And at $50 or $60 an hour, the analyst usually manages to barely stay awake.
Brad, I never heard you talk like this.
Yeah, well, maybe it's because the subject never came up. Look, if you want to spend an evening on it sometime, on psychiatry in general, and my father, the shriek in particular, just let me know. I'll be glad to oblige.
You're saying that you don't think it would do any good at all for either of us to see someone?
Hey, you are very quick. No, I have no intentions of sitting across the desk from some supercilious quack and paying him my good money to tell me what's wrong with me.
Brad, what do you know about yourself?
I mean, what do I know is wrong with me, with us? Well, I do know this. That if you tried to start out deliberately ruining my day, you've done a fine job of it, and I'm now going to see if I can salvage what's left of it, a health club.
Yeah? Good morning, Jenny. I have some coffee cake left over from breakfast, and I wondered if you and Brad would... Jenny, darling, what's the matter? Nothing. Thank you.
for you, Becky. It's just that I was afraid that by the time you would get around to doing it, it would be too late. Or that maybe you couldn't afford it on your salary.
Oh, that's for sure.
And I knew you wanted to make your own wedding dress. So... Hey, this isn't bad luck, is it?
What?
I mean, my seeing the material for the wedding dress before the wedding, that's not the same as seeing the dress before the wedding.
No, I think it'll be all right.
Well, do you like the material, Becky? You see, I remember that you said you wanted a lace wedding gown made of lace.
It's perfect. And I have a pattern. I ordered it from a magazine.
Good. So you can get started on it right away then, huh?
Yeah. Thank you, Richard. So good to me. Look, I gotta get back to work.
Yeah.
I won't get fired.
You're right, Mrs. Hopkins. I do owe Peter an explanation.
Then here's his number.
No, I can't do that on the phone. I have to do it in person.
When?
I don't know. I'll have to set a time. I just have to get things straight in my mind first.
Darling, they would have to talk about it.
I'm afraid that it would be unfair to Peter. I'm just so hurt and so angry.
About something he did.
He had every right to do it. I have no reason to be angry. But I just can't help it.
All right, okay then. Look, I am not trying to pry. I think you should take your time. I think you should think it over. But if Peter should call again...
I'll talk to him. At least I can set a time. Excuse me, Mrs. Hopkins. I'll be in my room.
As I was saying to Jim Craig, we know that the Lambview Hospital has one of the finest teaching institutions in this part of the country.
Just a fine hospital, generally speaking.
But how do we get the public to give us the recognition that we deserve?
Oh, come on, Dorian, is it really that important as long as we're doing a really good job here?
Sure. Stop and think a minute. Now, where do we get the money to cover our operating costs?
Well, a lot of it's public funding.
But the vital part, the part that makes the difference between mediocrity and excellence, that part comes from public gifts.
Oh, sure.
Well, sure. Well, how are we going to persuade those people to give us money?
Dorian, by doing the very best job we possibly can and by maintaining a standard of excellence here.
And an image. An image of achievement and being number one. And the way that you get that is to attract people who have star quality. Now, that would really put us right on the map. I mean, for instance, take DeBakey in Houston. Who ever heard of that hospital before he went there?
Well, obviously, you have a plan.
I have a plan. Now, I intend to bring as many prominent people here as I can, beginning with Jack Scott. All right. I know it's going to be hard and it's going to take a lot of work. A lot of stroking to make him know that it'll be worth his while.
Well, it's going to take a lot more than stroking to get Jack Scott here. A man like that, you have to offer him some form of professional advancement, something he doesn't already have. I mean, you'd have to give him, totally free rein to do whatever he wanted to do.
Do you think how he would react to an endowed chair at the medical school at Lambview State?
Now, wait a second. I thought we were talking about building up this hospital, not the medical school.
No. His professorship would be contingent on the fact that he would be part of the hospital staff.
And you, of course, would endow the professorship.
The Lord Foundation would.
Well, of course, he wouldn't settle for anything less than chief of cardiac services, right?
No, I wouldn't expect him to.
What about pediatrics, Dorian? My God, have you picked my successor?
Oh, come on, Peter. You gotta have more faith in yourself.
Dorian, I have a great deal of faith in myself as a physician, but wow, according to your new criteria, I'm not exactly charismatic.
Well, maybe you're not right now, but I think you're going to be very famous after your book comes out.
Oh, yeah, right, my book. What book?
The book that I am planning for you to... I think you can take advantage of all the experiences that you've had in South America, especially the ones dealing with epidemics. Peter, do you realize there are so many doctors on this staff who have never once handled a case of malaria or diphtheria, not to mention smallpox? I really didn't mean to get into that now. Why don't we talk about it over dinner tonight?
I must say that I am impressed with the way you think things through.
All right. But you could write a book, couldn't you?
Yeah, sure, if I had some research and some help.
Maybe a little sabbatical. Oh, yes. Come on, Peter, we'll talk about that tonight at dinner, all right?
I'm not sure that I could make dinner tonight, Dorian.
Oh?
Well, I've got an awful lot of work to get through, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it.
Oh. Well, would you let me know?
Oh, yeah, of course I will. Dorian, you happen to talk to Lynn today?
Why?
No, I'm just concerned about it, that's all.
You mean because of last night? Well, I was concerned too, and as a matter of fact, I stopped over there first thing this morning to have a little talk with her. I tried to convince her that she mustn't get involved with Marco Dane. But I think that's all part of her emotional instability. I mean, she gets these foolish involvements with the wrong men. And I think she does it to reassure herself about her own attractiveness. I mean, I can't think of any other reason. Luckily, these attractions never last very long. Peter, what time is it again? Oh, my, it's later than I thought. I have an appointment with my accountant. You know it is tax time. Well, please let me know about dinner.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Thanks
Bye.
again. Goodbye, Peter.
Becky, what on earth are you doing home in the middle of the day? Oh, what happened?
What am I going to do?
Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, Becky, did you just buy this?
Richard gave it to me.
Of course, it's for your wedding dress, isn't it?
My own fault. Told him I wanted to make my own dress and everything.
Well, don't you?
I can't make a dress. I just told him that to give it some more time. We put off the date a little while. I should have known Richard'd do something like this. He's so... Oh, what is the word?
I believe you mean persistent.
Yeah, stubborn.
Listen, Becky, if you need help doing the dress, well, I'm a pretty good seamstress. I mean, I know enough to make something up from a pattern. I can show you how to run it out. There's even an old machine here someplace.
Miss Hopkins, how can I make myself a dress I know I'm never going to wear?
Well, I just really can't imagine that there isn't some solution to that problem.
Mr. West said there isn't.
Yeah, well, I know there's a good lawyer, but even he could be wrong. Of course, he knows what the problem is, and I don't. However, maybe you should see somebody else. What do you think?
No. I knew the answer before I ever talked to him. Nobody can help me. Nobody at all.
Now then, I see two options insofar as your investment in the Landview Health Club is concerned. Who prepared this financial statement, by the way?
Oh, Vernon did. He's the owner.
Looks like you'll be the owner if things keep up.
Really? I thought that the February statement looked pretty good.
Well, until you start to analyze it, that's why I asked who prepared it. See, Mr. Vernon uses some rather interesting accounting methods. Of course, if you exercise your option to take over the club, you could sell out, take the capital loss on this year's tax return.
No, I don't think I'd like to. I think I'll just continue trying to work with Mr. Vernon.
Well, from the looks of this, I'd say he's a lost cause.
Maybe as an accountant, but he has other assets.
Well, somebody ought to show him how to prepare a financial statement. Would you like me to do that?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll just continue with things the way they are.
Give him enough rope. That the idea?
Yeah. Something like that.
I don't care. I don't care how many jobs you've got ahead of me. I want the system fixed, and I want it fixed today. Look, Anderson, I got your warranty right here in front of me, and you signed it personally. And, look, Anderson, if you don't live up to the terms, you're going to hear from my attorney.
Yes, you're damn right I mean that. I'll give you the 6 o'clock. What do you want?
I just want you to sign this thing, okay? Gosh, I don't believe the way you're acting. Mr. Anderson's a very nice guy. What's the big upset here?
Yeah, well, look, if you went downstairs and took a look at the saunas, you'd know why I'm upset.
Oh, and that's all his fault?
He installed them, Sam.
Brad, look, what is the matter?
I told you, I got people downstairs baking a lot.
No, that's not it. You've got something bugging you now. Is it something that I can help with?
Yes. Here, you can answer that and mind your own business.
No, you can answer that.
Hello.
Hello, Brad. This is Dorian Lord.
Yes, Dorian, what can I do for you?
Well, I just finished a meeting with my accountant, R.P. Herbst. I believe you know of him.
I've heard of him.
Yes, well, we were going over my tax returns, and naturally the question of my investment in the health club came up, and the best way to handle it and everything. As a matter of fact, Brad, he was quite impressed with your financial statement.
What does that mean?
Well, I'll explain it to you when I see you. Could you come up to Landfair, say at, I don't know, around 4 o'clock?
Yeah, I guess so.
Good. I'll look forward to seeing you then.
We got problems, Sam.
Weak, Kimasabi?
Well, what a pleasant surprise. Mrs. Wolek.
What are you doing?
Well, I was just about to ask you the same thing.
I brought some forms over from the free clinic. I'm working there now.
Somehow I just can't picture you as a gray lady.
We're called volunteers. That's something that you wouldn't know about.
Oh, on the contrary. I'm here for a meeting of the hospital financial committee. A job I volunteered for.
Well, ready for you.
Karen, why are you so upset with me?
I'm not.
Just uneasy? There's no need to be. When can I see you again?
Never.
Well, that's a long time.
I told you. That is a part of my life that is over.
Just like that?
Just like that. Look, I have a good relationship with Larry now, and I am not going to do anything to jeopardize that.
Yes, well, I made resolves like that early in my marriage, too. But Karen, neither of us is made out to follow that kind of humdrum existence.
Speak for yourself. What's the matter? Don't you believe me?
Oh, I believe you sold yourself on those tired old platitudes about the rewards of a happy monogamous life, but I just don't think... What's the matter?
My husband's over there.
Oh, Dr. Wolek. Good to see you again. How are you, Mr. Huddleston? Oh, fine, except I'm late for a committee meeting. I relinquished my place. Thank you. Nice to see you again, Mrs. Wolek. Doctor? Well, he seems to like you. When you run into him.
I was sitting here minding my own business. He walked and he plunked himself down.
Propositioned you?
Well, he might have if you hadn't come along.
Well, then that's a good thing I'm here, huh? What are you doing here anyway?
I brought these forms over from the free clinic to have the administrative office process. Can you come home with me when I leave?
No, I can't, but listen, I am glad I caught you. I ran into Pat, and I invited her and Paul over for dinner tonight.
Oh, Larry, no.
Why, did you have other plans?
No, but it's just,
Well, it's no big deal. You know, spur of the moment sort of thing.
I know, but it's just that being with the Kendall and you'd be such a downer.
Why?
Well, I know you're probably going to think that I don't have a sensitive bone in my body, but, I don't know, I just find it depressing to be around Pat these days.
Sorry you feel that way, Karen.
Well, don't you?
No, I think she's going through a rough time right now. I think any help she can get would be gratefully appreciated.
know about it?
No, it's all there.
Right, chicken looks easy enough. White wine, right?
Right.
I don't know, Jenny. It's just that I don't feel like entertaining, especially not the Kendalls.
Really? From what I hear, they could use it.
Yeah, I know, but my idea of a fun evening is not to sit and watch Pat Kendall fall apart. All right. Put it in my purse. I will let you know how it goes.
Karen, don't go into this evening thinking it's going to be a big bore. I mean, they'll pick up on that.
Yeah,
Do your best, all right?
I will. I'll do my best. Good. And I'll serve them the gesundheit.
All right. Bye. Bye.
Let me guess. Directors meeting, board of directors for the auxiliary.
Peter, do you know everything that goes on around here?
No, I just know that the auxiliary couldn't run without you.
Oh,
May I join?
oh yes, please do.
Thank you. Actually, I'm pretty lucky today. I was thinking about giving you a call.
Really?
Yeah. Honey, you knew Melinda Kramer, I mean, when she lived in Landview, didn't you? I mean, before she was hospitalized?
We had a casual acquaintance. Why?
Well, I don't know if you know about it, but she and I have become quite friendly since she's been back.
Oh. No, I didn't know, but I'm delighted. She's a lovely girl.
Yeah, I think so, too. I'm kind of worried about her, and I was wondering if I could impose upon you and ask you some questions about her background.
I'm not sure I knew her all that well. What is it you'd like to know?
Well, I guess we could start with her relationship with her sister.
Oh, well, that's easy. Dorian was a strong, overprotective big sister. Almost a mother figure, really. I remember she invited me up for tea once. This was when she was trying to ingratiate herself with Jim at the hospital. But Melinda sat there for over an hour, and I don't think she said more than 10 words.
And every time she spoke, Dorian finished the sentences?
Exactly. How did you know?
Because that's the way it is when they're together today. What about her relationships with men? I mean, did she date much then?
Not that I was aware of.
That's pretty strange.
What?
Well, see, I was led to believe that she had kind of a destructive pattern socially. I mean, that she would get a terrific crush on a guy, and then it would kind of fade, and she'd push him off to the side and quickly move on to somebody else.
Well, I know she was very attracted to Larry. Well, he used to go over to the house and talk to her. He and Meredith were living in the garage apartment on the grounds at Landview, so they were quite near, but gee, I wouldn't call it a crush. It was sort of a big brother, little sister thing, you know? I don't think Larry was even aware of it.
Well, what about other men? I mean, any other relationships?
That's the only one I ever knew about. I don't think I'm being of any help to you.
No, I mean, listen, thank you very much. You've actually been an awful lot of help. Excuse me, I've got to go now. Take care. It's nice seeing you.
Yeah, fine. Oh, I'm sorry if I kept you waiting.
That's quite all right. I was just, looking at your portrait.
Oh? What do you think of it? Do you like it?
Well, the, artist obviously had a very attractive subject.
Why, Brad, you always say the right things, don't you? Could I fix you a drink?
That's all right, I'll do it. What can I get you?
Oh, I think I'll have the same thing that you are.
Oh, you trust me that much, huh? Because I'm going to have an extra dry martini.
Well, that sounds just perfect to me. Brad, can you talk while you work?
I can walk and chew gum, if that's what you mean.
As I told you on the phone, my accountant was very impressed with your bookkeeping.
Oh?
Yes, especially by your bottom line of the February financial statement.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, was it?
No, it was a marked improvement over January. So much so that I think I'm going to call in some of my principal on the loan. Well, that's part of my contractual right, you know.
How
$2,500 this month, and next month we'll see.
2,500?
Well, according to your financial statements, you should be able to handle that very easily.
Dorian, you don't need the money, do you?
Well, it's not a question of need, Brad. It's total business practice. Now, I put a lot of money into that club, and I would just like to start getting some of it out.
How soon?
Well, I believe according to our agreement, I can withdraw part of my principal within 72 hours' notice. Oh, Brad, you have the money. There's nothing to worry about. Starting this renewal on your membership right now, Mr. Forbes?
Oh, what's the hurry?
Oh, well, of course there's no hurry. But you do want to renew, right?
I suppose so.
Yes. So why don't we just do it right now? Well, it's convenient. You're here, And also, you get a 10% discount if you pay in advance.
You're talking...
All right, there you go. Oh,
Hey, Brad, this girl is some super salesperson. Yeah, I know. Thank you very much. Sam?
Oh, well, I guess we're just having a little time of crisis here. If you'll just leave your check on the desk, Mr. Forbes, everything will be great.
Close the door. Hey, Sam, I want to know how much money you got in the bank.
What, up this minute?
No, as of a week ago last Tuesday. Of course, right this minute.
All right.
What are the numbers?
All right. What do you want? You want to write down to the last nickel or what?
Just for $100 will do.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess it's about, say, 1,500. But, then we have to meet the payrolls on Friday, so that should take just about all of it.
Sam, what am I going to do?
Well, that's okay. Hey, we've been through tight times before.
Sam, you don't understand. I have to have $2,500 before the close of business on Friday.
You mean in addition to what we have in the bank?
Of course, if that has to go for the payroll.
Well, Brent, can I ask what this is for?
Dorian is calling in some of the principal in our loan. Don't...
Your coat. I'll go and fetch you.
Thank you. Becky! Hey! Come on in here. Come on in here. Never mind that now. Look at this.
House is for sale.
Yeah, look at the two I circled.
Blonde car.
Modern colonial.
Dram and boy.
Dramatic entrance foyer.
Purples?
Purples. Purples. Fireplaces.
Bam kit.
That's family-sized kitchen.
Half acre of wooded land. I know what that means. Low 60s.
Well, it's $60,000 even. They went down in price after I talked to them.
You talked to him?
Yeah. Yeah, you see, I saw the first two houses. The question is, do you want a mod coal with a dram and foy and a fam kit? Or would you rather have a nice little farmhouse or an old Victorian place with turrets and towers that we could fix up?
Do they all have purples?
Of course they all have purple, you silly stupid. What do you think?
You get so silly.
Some luck.
No, Richie. What's the big hurry with all this?
Well, there's no big hurry, Becky. I just want to anchor you down securely so that you can't get away from me. You know what I mean, Miss Becky Lee Hunt?
Next, on General Hospital, Lee wants Gail to give Monica another chance.
You're trying just desperately to hang on to one last shred of belief in Greg Adamson, even if it means destroying a friendship.
And David wants a second chance with Leslie.
David, get out of here. You stay away from us. You stay away from this house.
General Hospital.
Today, after one life to live. Look, I'll tell you what. This weekend we'll take a ride out to the country and we'll look at the two places I've circled. Plus there's a third I want to show you that I think you might like.
That's it?
what you're in such a big hurry for.
No, it's not that I'm in such a big hurry. I'm just anxious, you know. We're going to be married. 2nd of April.
Yeah, but I don't see why we can't move into your apartment. I mean, till we find something we like.
Well, we could, Becky, but suppose we found something we both were really crazy about.
Yeah, but, I mean, well, there's no big hurry.
You know, Becky, sometimes I think I'm the only one who's anxious for our wedding day to arrive. Hey, look, we should be having fun anticipating this, planning for it. Don't you, Senator? I mean, you behave like you just want to keep putting it off.
Well, then we'll be down in a minute.
Oh, thank you, Miss Summers.
You know, she really didn't want to come at first. But then I reminded her about something she said this morning.
What was that?
That she really owed you some kind of explanation.
Thank you for your help.
Oh, I didn't do anything. I just opened up. Uh-huh. Well, time for Ina's magic disappearing act.
Hello?
I don't have much time. I have to go to work.
Well, look, that's why I came by. I thought maybe I could drive you to work and we could talk on the way.
You don't really want to do that, do you?
Yeah, sure I do. Why wouldn't I?
I mean, after we've talked.
What is it that you have to say to me?